All right, welcome back to TROOPZ's Arsenal podcast. Back at it again with another episode. Transfer business. 120 million has been taken out by Arsenal on a short-term loan from the government of UK. How will it be spent? How do we want it to be spent? What is this money going to do? And let us just discuss about it. But before we do, smash the like button, subscribe, make sure you are joining the family. We are running very fast to 19,000 subscribers, and we are also hitting the target, which is 500 likes per video. That makes sense, guys. That really makes sense. And thanks everybody who is participating in this. If you do not smash the like button, if you do not subscribe, you're just a clown. You're just a clown. But if you are subscribing, if you are smashing the like button, then you're the real one. You get me? So, of course, it was confirmed yesterday that Arsenal took £120 million in loan, which is perceived by many Arsenal fans as money that is to aid our January transfer window, which has not started poorly, by the way. I think one of the things that Arsenal have done in this January transfer window is clear out Deadwood, which we all of us agree Arsenal needed. We needed to clear out Deadwood. We needed to get some players off the budget, and we are still doing so. So a couple of players are still leaving, and those that have left have left. But the financial situation in which we are, basing on the fact that we are not paying, we are not getting money from fans for home games in stadiums and a couple of other things. We are in the Europa League. I don't know when we last played the Champions League, so we might not be in a big financial, in a pleasant financial situation. Basing on the fact that we have come down from $1 billion project as Arsenal, now we are around $800 million. So that shows you where the club is. And in January we need to spend, but we do not have enough money. All the players that we are letting out, most of them are going out on loan. Other players, actually most of them are going to I don't expect Arsenal to sell someone that's going to be around 10 million, 15 million this January transfer window. Even in the summer, it's going to be the same thing. You don't expect any player to go out there and Arsenal getting some good money. So what Arsenal decided to do is to go for a loan, short-term loan, just like Tottenham did. We shall pay this loan until April. That is the agreement we have. We shall pay this loan until April, and because it's just a short-term loan. But the question is, how is Arsenal going to use this money? Many Arsenal fans out there have said Arsenal is going to spend 120 million on the January transfer window, which I don't think is going to happen. Precisely, if you think about the wages we are paying to players and the way that we are not earning so much money, I think Stan Kroenke and Kroenke Investments and so on have taken this loan probably to aid us in the January transfer window, so we could get one or two players. And I said it before and I'll say it again. If Arsenal is going to get a player, it's going to be one permanent deal and a loan deal, or one loan deal or one permanent deal. I don't expect more than two players. So the 120 million, I don't think all of it is going to be spent, on transfers. Probably we could spend around 45 or 50 million on transfers. But, if you look at the players we are linked with, Julian Brandt now is topping the list. He is 25 million. Dortmund are willing to let him go at 25 million. So if Arsenal can just get him at 25 million, and probably, because if you get Julian Brandt, then you're not getting Emi Buendia. Both players play almost the same, unless if you want to use Emi Buendia onto the right hand side of the pitch, of which I agree Arsenal really have enough players there. So the question remains now, where can Arsenal spend the rest of the money, and which areas do we need to invest in this January? And for me, I think what we can do right now, go out there, get a partner for Thomas Partey, Xhaka and Mohamed El Neni, Sani Ceballos, or any of those, is just not good enough. If we are going to carry through the season, we need a person to partner Thomas Partey. And don't think about Bissouma. It's gonna be expensive. He's already on form. He's on fire. And Brighton are not going to sell. So don't think about Bissouma as for now. We can think about someone else. Yeah, we can think about someone else. So if we can get someone who can partner Thomas Partey in that midfield, for maybe for 10, 15 million, and then you get a Julian Brandt at 25 million. Till he's done, that is around is that 40 million? I think the January transfer window, you close the January transfer window, and then you focus on letting other players leave, especially those that should be leaving already, the Squadron Mustafis, and a couple of other players. So this 120 million, like many people believe, I don't think it's going to be money that Arsenal is actually going to use to spend in the January transfer window. It's not going to be like that. We know Arsenal don't really spend big in the January transfer window, and I don't think Stan Kroenke took out this money to be spent in the January transfer window. I don't think. I think it might be to cover wages, because remember, players had to pay to take pay cuts. Still, fans are not yet back in the stands, so maybe cover the day-to-day costs of the club. I think that's why Arsenal did take out this loan. Cover day-to-day tasks of the club, spend on such expenses, and then in the summer, because in the summer when players leave, we are about to secure almost 500k per week in players who have just left the club, in wages. So that means then we can actually think about signing more players, bringing in other players, and so on. But in January, I don't think Arsenal is really going to spend 120 million. Like many fans would want, or like many fans think that we took out this loan to spend 120 million in January. It's not like that, and I don't think it's going to be like that. However, I'm still very, very open to your opinions. What do you think Arsenal is going to use with 120 million? Do you think we could see Arsenal bring in around 3 players, which I think for me is a myth, something that's not going to happen? We know how business runs around the Emirates Stadium. We know, so I don't expect anything, in difference. I don't expect anything. So, and I told you, when you look at the players we're linked now, with we have started zeroing down to the players that could actually bring in, from Emi Buendia, Sabata, Nkuku, and a couple of others. Now it is Julian Brandt, Emi Buendia, and Isco. So probably we are going to choose 1 or 2 of those, and I don't want to choose right now, because I want to do that video. Who should we sign? It should be Isco, Buendia, or Julian Brandt. Who should we actually sign? There are also other reports that we could go for much cheaper deals, like Julian Draxler. PSG would be very glad if any club, if any club came out and were willing to reduce, on the amount they were going to actually, pay in wages for this guy, who's going to be a free agent in the summer. My thoughts about Julian Draxler do not change. He's a very, very interesting player. I love him so much, but I don't think he can drown. Not drown, but I don't think he can save our lives from the drowning Red Sea we are in. Still, if I still think about it, I think if Arsenal can only get 2 players, buy a box to partner Thomas Partey, and also buy the number 10, to play with Emile Smith Rowe occasionally, interchangeably, that makes sense. I don't know what you guys think, but that's what I think. And make no mistake, I'll be coming back with a match preview as the Newcastle and the prediction for all the FA Cup games of the weekend. I'll be speaking to you very, very soon. Back at it again.